Welcome back, guys, for another episode of Not for Broadcast. We're at day 15. You get to the theater slightly early, and Sam already there waiting dressed to the nines. Ooh! Smile wildly as you join hands and take your seats in the private box. Phil can get used to this. Tickets arrives on your doormat on Monday with a typed thank you from Chris. You'll get your password back soon enough, apparently. The show isn't to your usual taste. A pretentious opera in a language you know for a fact that Chris doesn't speak either. Still, the complimentary drinks sure goes down smooth. When the show finally ends, how many bows do these people need? You stand in line to get your coats, and Sam has you in creases. With a hilarious impression of the conductor's arm flailing wildly, the couple in front of you are talking about the relocation of people who couldn't pay their new tax bills. It sounds awful. Safe and sound. When you get home, you're still laughing as Sam heads upstairs and chat before bed. You notice your 14-year-old son isn't home, and there's a note on the kitchen table in his almost illegible scroll. It says he's at a friend's house. It's a school night. If it's a school night, you have to bring the friend's house or separate spot. On seeing you, Charlie loses it and tells you in no certain terms where you can shove your ride home. You end up in a full-blown argument in front of his friend and their parents. It's mortifying. You make your excuse and quickly escort him to the car. Now, is the only thing that punctures the atmosphere in the car. What was that about, Charlie? He sighed a sigh of someone much older than his 14 years. I want to be the one who decides what I do, not you. It's not fair. Go easy on him. You were young once, and really, he's a good kid. You promise not to tell your partner. Promises not to do it again. Kids will be kids. That's a lot. Okay. From 15 to 42. You're leafing through a pile of accumulated posts. Each new bill pulls on your gut like a lead weight until a flash of blue makes you pause. Recognizing the teal advance logo on the envelope, you tear it open. Dear Winston residents, this is your second reminder letter regarding the assets and wealth redemption scheme. Please submit your passport to your nearest government office as soon as possible in order to register for the scheme. You cannot receive your share of the national rebate without submitting these documents. Doesn't make it any easier. Work as a team, and we are rewarded as a team. Forward together. Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Chris is safe with us now. You hope. Hopefully we get our password back. A tight Christmas. Can't help but crack smile as you look around the table. The snow has settled on the grass outside. The kids are pulling a cracker while your elderly mother tries to keep her eyes open. You did always have a soft spot for Christmas. You're sitting at the head of the table now, your dad's place. Across from you is Chris's empty seat. Probably in a tropical beach somewhere, you think. You catch Sam's eye, who breaks into a smile, clearly thinking the same thing. Even without Chris, the food has had to be stretched a little thinner this year. But no one seems to notice. Christmas really can be a wonderful time of year. Look around the room at your family. Let's ask Grandma. mother smiles broadly at you, just like she used to. Yes, Pat. It's absolutely lovely. Sam softly corrects her. That's Alex Cassandra. Alex. Pat's not with us anymore. Oh, yes, of course, she mutters. And immediately she's back to the frail shadow of her former self. Sam smiles kindly and squeezes your hand under the table. You look around the room with your family. Make a toast. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm glad we're all here. Well, most of us. There are murmurs of cheers and much clinking of glasses. Your daughter, Susie, seizes the opportunity to corner you. You know how you love me? Oh no, is she gonna ask something? I'm not going to like this, am I? You joke. You know, me and my friends are planning on going traveling this year. Susie begins innocently. Well, I was hoping you'd help me with the money. Frown or laugh? Laughing. I knew it. I'm a mind reader, you chuckle as your 19-year-old daughter rolls her eyes. You wish you could say yes without worrying, but now that your mother had to move in, things aren't quite as simple anymore. Just how much are we talking? Only a few hundred, she mumbles as she pushes. Oh my god. A stray pea around her plate. It literally is like reading a book. Like I said on the last episode, holy crap. It takes a great effort for you to not spit your mulled wine across the table onto your elderly mother. I know it's a lot, darling, Sam interjects, but trains are expensive. This is a great opportunity for her, and I did already say she could go. You're right. We'll make it work. You made it? That's so great. Thank you. The mood soars as Sam puts a paper hat on your head and Charlie takes pleasure in reading Evan's god-awful cracker jokes. The room is filled with voices and laughter. Looking around at your grinning family, your mother whispers, your father will be pleased. You dab your eye with your napkin. Feel very lucky. Happy holidays. Okay. That's a lot of days. A long weekend. Okay, what's happening now? Why does the zip on this damn case never close? It's your anniversary. Every year you and Sam go away for the weekend, usually camping. You're not made of money. You've been looking forward to it for ages, finally getting some time alone together, whether you can forget about the noise of life, no kids, no work, just a bit of romance and some peace and quiet. It's kind of the zip finally gives a battle, and you drag the bulging suitcase down the stairs. This feels like kind of like what is that game? I don't know. It kind of reminds me of Papers, Please a little bit. It's like of that and like Friday Nights at Freddy's. The answering machine is blinking in the hall table. Good morning, Alex. This is Mr. Bozeman. I'm calling in to inform that you'll be required to work this weekend. What? We have to work on the weekend? Some information has come to light concerning the rising tensions between our nation and foreign powers. And the national nightly news team will be working around the clock to ensure we break the story first. Needless to say, I will expect your attendance tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. sharp. Have a pleasant evening, Alex. Shock turns to annoyance and then fear. What am I gonna tell her? Oh no! Should I ignore it? This weekend, ignore the message! What was that? Comes to the voice behind you. Nothing important, you reply. Oh no! I skipped it! An unwelcome return. Was it worth it? Am I fired? Am I fired? Oh no. A permission slip. Your son Charlie hovers at your elbow as you read. Do you find yourself striving to achieve? Are you an active member of the team? Do you like reaping the benefits of cooperation? Join the advanced go-getters today, forwards together. This doesn't sound like the youth club he told you about. Charlie grabs the flyer from you and thrusts a form into your hand. So I can walk there straight from school, and Ben's sister can drop us home after. So you won't have to do anything. What is this? I don't have a choice of what it was? Your son is thrilled. It's heartwarming to see him so passionate about becoming an active part of the community. It'll be a good thing. A free ticket? Some guys at work gave them to me. They can't go. Sam stands in front of you, brandishing 2 tickets. You see the title of blue letters, Alan James is right in front of you. I'm really unsure. What do you think? Shall we go? Yeah, free tickets are free tickets, I guess. Shows entertaining but much less funny than you thought. It's a powerful public speaker, and something about it sticks in your mind. Lying in bed that night, wide awake, long after Sam's breathing turns heavy, it hits you. It was a crowd, not laughing, not but roaring. Middle of the road. Stay neutral. A profitable partnership. After a particularly long day at work, you come home to find the post sorted into piles as Sam has taken to doing recently. Most of it is the usual rubbish, but a letter with the increasingly familiar advanced logo and urgent respond immediately plastered on the front in correspondingly urgent red font grabs your attention. Best to get it over with. Dear Winston resident, this letter is to inform you that the advanced government has taken another step forward in our fight for equality by nationalizing the large private corporations and redistributing their resources among the citizens of this great country. Sounds like communism for some reason. Great country. The Partnership Bonds program ensures the wealth created by the people is delivered to the people. I remember this being in the manifesto. Every household will become a partner of 2 of 4 carefully selected institutions, chosen by banks for consistent high performance and financial security. Please note, all returns are based on public opinion and cannot be guaranteed. Please select one of the following. Eye of the Beholder Corporation, where it's cosmetics, clothing, or portraiture. We see the beauty in all our customers. Neil's Deal Limited. It's always a steal from Crazy Neil. Pleasure Corp. Our business is your pleasure, from sport to travel, or even just some your time. Just some you time. You can't say pleasure without leisure. Remington Civis PLC. We're everywhere in everything. A worldwide company for a worldwide community. We'll do Pleasure Corp. And we're everywhere in everything. This one. Thank you for making your selection. Please return this form using envelope provided. You will receive a report for your partnership in 3 to 6 working months. It seems even advanced can't defeat the quagmire of governmental bureaucracy. The future of this nation and partnership forward together. Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Just how much influence could you have? All right. Ooh. Wow, that's really far. Okay, cool. We're back in the studio. Oh, this thing's taking long. The Tempest. Is it snowing? Oh, it's raining.
Good evening, Alex. It's Bozeman here, your boss. While you're powering up and getting the adverts loaded, I thought I should just tell you that we've had one of those public information films from the government, and it's mandatory that you play it. You still have a free choice for the other two, so read those tape labels carefully, but make sure you play the advance advert, preferably at the second break. Right, that's the lot. Have a great show. Total pimp. My God, that weather was nasty.
Must be played. Okay. Check your prostate in the first. Oh, it's not on.
Did your personality accidentally slip out?
Correct. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Dawson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
Critics have been quick to dismiss the graffiti as a publicity stunt, or an act of frustration by a tiny, disorganized group of those who will never, under any circumstances, be content.
We shall overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, doctors Ingrid Svorsborg-Horgensvoord and David Wong announced today that they're considering two possible options.
With two of the finest minds in science working together, hopes are still high for the eventual return of the team to dry land.
Without enough engineers to successfully fix their craft, the team seem likely to attempt to farm the cabin's ecosystem while they wait for rescue from above ground. I think I'll stick to risotto, Jeremy.
La Baffe avoided. As the last Mr. Snugglehogs is found and destroyed, we ask, how could we have been so blind?
Fortunately, this station wisely chose not to advertise Mr. Snugglehugs, and the subsequent disappointing sales turned out to be a miracle, as only 7 children were horribly injured by the lethal toy. How much worse could it have been? Thankfully, we'll never know.
Julia Salisbury, who mobilised numerous government resources to recall the product immediately after the first blindings, said today that the new advance mark, which must be earned by all new products, will be a 100% ironclad guarantee of safety and quality.
Table for 2. Johnny Hansleaves and Tiffany Lamour were spotted having a private moment out at lunch today.
The popular couple have certainly been on a roller coaster since they started dating late last year, and this image is sure to place them firmly back in the tabloids.
Could we be on the verge of the biggest celebrity wedding since professional wrestler Randy Grizzlenuts McFridge married his longtime tag team partner Tina Tiny Hands last year in a wrestling ring made entirely of cake?
Is this one celebrated role model to become the bad boy of sport?
And onwards and upwards. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Rimington's Fist CEO Sophia Rimington today announced a brand new product that already has the markets buzzing with interest.
This groundbreaking product came as quite a shock when it was revealed earlier today, though its critics are sceptical that the young CEO can fulfill her promises.
When only a Flard will do, you need the Flardmaster 5000. That's the slogan accompanying the announcement that has rocked the construction industry.
I forgot
this
what
morning.
we were.
The breakthrough device for aiding in installation that is sure to change the way we
I don't
see
remember
the hub
what.
of Flard.
With that exclusive prime ministerial interview coming up later.
And our very own Patrick Bannon live at the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
But first tonight, while Advance is certainly proving popular with the majority of the country, who've seen their wealth and standards of living increase considerably, for some, the transition has not been as pleasant.
That's right, Megan. The formerly aristocratic members of our society have had to make major adjustments to come to terms with the new regime.
Robin Short is in suburbia investigating rumours that these previously privileged people may be planning some kind of protest. Robin?
Thanks, Megan. I'm here in Moderate Hatchings to talk to Wentworth and Penelope Somerset Bentley, who were relocated to the house you see behind me after Advance passed the Assets and Wealth Act on their first day in office. Tell me, how are you settling into your new lives?
Well, quite frankly, Robin, we're not settling in at all. Our neighbours are whitewatters.
It's simply untenable. I hope you'll forgive my language, but it's as steaming as a Wednesday hatch basket with too much spatting.
Steady now, Penelope. Sorry, Robin, my sister's under a lot of pressure. She had to dress herself this morning and she still hasn't quite recovered, Robin.
My goodness, that must have been quite a shock.
She really struggles with ribbons, Robin.
Well, at least you've been rehoused in a nice big house.
Big house? This grubby little gaddis spatch only has one staircase.
And the breakfast room and the dining room in the same bloody place. Imagine that, having all one squab in one room. One room, Robin.
So what would you say to the people that feel that your family has had it far too easy for far too long, and that these redistributions are both fair and just?
I hardly think we've had it easy for Buttle's sake. Only one of our swimming pools was even heated.
But realistically, what can you do?
Well, you've asked the right bloody question, Robin.
Thank you, Wentworth. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason.
I think our toilet butler was from Swinstead. Dear George. Oh, I wonder what happened to him. I remember! Daddy tried to shoot him in the buttocks and he ran off into the woods. You know, that's probably my last happy memory, Robin.
Tragic, but what can you do?
We will rise and rebel.
Yes.
We wage war on our revolting rulers with righteous words and rebellious writings. Our best guess in our quest for redress is to divest our breasts and an undress bear just protest.
Yes.
Oh, what's that?
Daddy! Daddy, it's
Daddy!
Oh, please don't do
What
that.
are
We
you
can't show
doing?
this on the news.
Rise, you buggers! Carry home!
Jeez.
Tilly! Get the dog!
Tilly's our mummy. She's proper cracked off too.
Oh, well, at least you are showing some shame. You are showing some shame.
Oh no.
We at last!
Somerset Bentley, glad to meet you. See, the protest has started already. Nice sharp work, boy.
Thanks, Daddy.
He gets that from me, you know.
And forgive me, what are you trying to achieve here?
We just want to be fudding well heard, that's all.
Language, Penelope. We are nudes, not rules.
Sorry, Daddy.
We want the world to realise we won't roll over and run away. We will revolt. We will rise again.
Yes, we bloody well will. Spaff and pip pop.
What? Daddy, how could you?
Shut up and get your butt.
Well, Jeremy, Megan, as this embryonic protest movement takes one in the top legs, it's back to you in the
Get the
studio.
dog.
I'm Robin Short, struggling surreptitiously in Moderate Hatchings.
I think
Thanks, Robin. Well, that's certainly a story we want to be keeping an eye on, eh, Megan?
Oh, I
Speak for
forgot.
yourself there, Jeremy, but I've seen enough sharp work to last me a lifetime.
I'm sure you have. But can a naked protest movement ever really catch on? It doesn't seem like the way we do things in this country.
But as I'm sure you're Jeremy, this country is becoming a very different place.
Yes, but seriously, who's going to run around naked in our weather?
Oh, hopefully not you, Jeremy.
Yes, well, there wouldn't be enough canvas for the slogans.
When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board Finals. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back. Sorry, I'm busting.
Busting.
She's funny.
Yes, I know. I think it's very endearing.
She wants your job.
She's welcome to it. Why is it raining on my desk?
Alex, Bozeman, we're getting reports in that naked protesters might try and spoil the sports board final by waving their fleshy bits about. Try and make sure you don't broadcast it. It's 6 p.m. for God's sake. No one wants to see fannies on the news. Bozeman out.
Got it.
This can cause trouble starting to feed and it can cause launch-based trouble between you and she being the next one.
What?
Big old prospect in your bum.
in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's what it says.
Yes, I understand, but I always say welcome back.
I think we should just keep it as it is.
Well, of course you do. I've got one hack line.
What's that supposed to mean? I didn't write it, Jeremy.
That's all right, fine. Jenny, there's something wrong with the auto cue.
10 seconds.
Oh, I just felt a drip again. Have they not fixed this?
Do you want to see us fry? It's good for the
5,
ratings.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Nice to see they care.
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. But first, we're going now to our own Patrick Bannon, who's reporting live from the finals of the new game that's gripping the nation, Sports Board. Patrick?
That's right, Megan. You join me live here for the final of the first annual Sports Board Championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far. I think it's fair to say these two have been dancing around each other all season. First up, we have Ellie Striker. She's the more experienced of our two players today. Striker has got an accuracy of 7, a danger rating of K, and a 12-month driving ban. Striker's known for her signature move, the Orangi Hamster. And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 14 finishes, and a divorce pending, it's Mr. Wingspan himself, Tommy, the Fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part. Still going on. And Striker, of course, first to start as she won the trivia round earlier on by some margin. Harris, perhaps the brawn and not the brains. Stupid. Ellie Striker. Nice start there from Striker. She's determined not to let the nerves show. Not after last time. On to Mr. Harris now. Tommy. Using his arm to pick up the ball. Not a bad shot there from Harris. Back to Striker. For shot number 3. All right. She's gone to sort of throwing under her legs. Not bad if you ask me. Bit of business with the ref, but it got sorted out. Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. I'd say that's fair, but what do I know? Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy with that. So really not a good start there for Tommy Harris in round 1. We can only hope that round 2 treats him a bit better. But first, of course, after the argument with the ref section, it was time to change ends. Now we have the ceremonial changing of the ends. And of course now they go back to the starting positions, as that makes sense. Striker giving it large. Winter round 2 now with Harris. Okay, he seems to have some sort of streak on the pitch. Apologise if you broadcast any of that stuff. She appears to have slogans across her breasts and arse. Try and ignore all of that. Security, I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast any of that. As I said, we're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible. They're trying to carry on play, but it's proving a bit difficult, and I'm struggling to follow. Because it's quite an eyesore, and women's bodies, yeah. All right, great. Okay, so back into round 2 now, and Harris absolutely determined to close that massive gap. Eddie Striker. You know, it's just some of the tightest play I've seen ever. Harris. And was that effective thumb screw? We haven't seen that since the heats. What a brilliant move. Back to Striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the ground sound. Excellent bit of play here on both sides of the bucket.
What's up in
I
his
don't know about
face?
you at home, but I'm finding the technical mastering display here absolutely blooming jaw-dropping. The ref has spotted something in Harris's neck or head. And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there for Tommy Harris. But he is a late bloomer, of course, I've always said that. And after all, it is a game of 2 halves, 4 rounds and several subgenres. But now, of course, it's time for the half-time show. Sponsored by Remington's Fist. Must be some music here to start the half-time show. Okay, another posh protester loose on the court here. We don't apologise for that. We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at it. Is running around here with his genitals on display for all to see. And ruining what was shaping up to be quite the dancing, to be fair. Now he's thrusting himself in Harris's face. Security's on it. And the bucket's been knocked over! I cannot stand it when the bucket gets knocked over. Hopefully he'll get taken out now. Genitals flying around for all to see. Really, if you ask me, not Sunday morning television.
Damn it.
And out of there, hopefully taken away, never to be seen again. And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these two players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't. Not bad. So that ball boy's giving me the eye all day. I don't know what's going on there. Striker there, not a great start. She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around. Back to Harris here. God, what I wouldn't give to be that ball. I'm all right, ladies. Tommy Harris. And it dribbled down his arm, which is actually a really good move, because of course if it dribbles down his arm and goes on the floor, it's not going in the bucket. Back to striker. And striker's gone for the animal bonus there, but of course perhaps... And yes, Harris has counted with a tiny bell. That is wonderful play. Of course we've seen that before. Look at her face. She is absolutely gutted. What a mug. That could have been the clincher. What a massive shame. Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 battles. Here we go. Tommy Harris. That's all right. Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever there. Perhaps a little contact. Caution from the referee, who's being, if you ask me, a little bit harsh. Ellie Striker. And she's let the nerves get to her. What the hell was that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, like, I mean, this is a mess now. I don't know what I can be doing about this. I mean, it's sort of breasts and genitals for all to see. I mean, there's only so much you can do. They're sort of everywhere, aren't they? All right, I'll try and carry on. The players are trying to carry on, but of course it's difficult because these protesters hopefully we can get them taken off soon so we can carry on with the match. What's going on here? Yes, yes.
We want our money.
Yes, very good. Take them away. Bloody wasters. Absolute wasters. Oh, jog on! It's an absolute bloody... Okay, and now we're going to go into the final round. And of course, as it's a Tuesday, the final round is a mime round. Who could believe it? Nice imaginary shot there from Harris. It really could go anywhere at this point. Really high-level play here from 2 absolute juggernauts of the sport. The bucket getting moved back to its proper place. About time, if you ask me. She's juggling it around from her hands. And she's put it in her mouth like as if it was an egg. And now she's and she spat it out. She did the egg spit. So a wonderful move there, quite late on, from Striker. But she's in it to win it. On it like a car bonnet. Tommy Harris here, having a bit of beef. And he's peeling it as if it were a banana, which is an interesting move. Not sure if he hasn't had his potassium or what's going on today with Harris. And he's throwing it, and the banana was the ball! What a fantastic move there from Harris. Unfortunately, that is the end. What a pathetic, there we go, Jeremy, that is over. How can he look his 80-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump. We just have to wait for the referee now to announce it to make sure it is all official. In, please.
And the winner of the first annual Sports Board Championship is
for everyone, including me as my 15th win in the Sports Board Championship. I'm going to be celebrating tonight with my wife and children. Another wonderful victory for me. Here come the on-site security to collect their medals, their 6th and 7th respectively. And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championships. What more is there to say? I'm Patrick Bannon, looking forward to celebrating tonight. And all I always have to say, Jeremy, is back to you in the studio.
Patrick Bannon there had an extraordinary final.
Historic sports board, Jeremy.
I didn't know he was a fan.
Yeah, I can wrench a doubler with the best of them, I'll have you know.
I certainly wouldn't bet against you.
Jesus.
When we come back, I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
That's coming up after these messages.
1 minute back.
Fucking
Holy.
microphone shot me.
What?
Fucking microphone just shot me. Where's that sound guy?
Everything okay?
Oh, the mics are just trying to kill us now, apparently.
You'll be fine. You're unshockable.
I'm immune to your cheap flattery.
I'm wearing you down.
Boozman again. Just heard from the chaps in maintenance that this storm is causing the odd power surge. Some of your controls might be a bit, dangerous. Now I know
It
you're
was.
tough and you can take the odd shock for the sake of a perfect news broadcast, but too many in quick succession can stop the old ticker. I'm sure you'll make the right decisions.
So
Boozman
sorry
out.
about all the buckets. We seem to have sprung a leak. Well, several, actually.
You're going to need a whole new lining up there. Triple super, shouldn't you?
We'll look into it.
That's so good to see you again.
Miss Wolf, your star seems to be in the ascendant.
It's a great time to be alive.
Too bloody right, Peter Clement.
Megan Wolf.
Ah, but that's a firm handshake you've got there.
She's tougher than she looks. Am I here?
Here, with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet.
Is your seat down?
10 seconds, everybody.
No, mine's fine. Have you had a little accident?
5,
5, 4,
3,
3.
2, 1, 0.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much of it.
Oh, God.
You seem very advanced.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
Oh, no, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whingers mostly.
People who've yet to benefit from the many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be happy.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
Someone's dripping on me.
But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts projects.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office briefed us that you have an announcement to make, but they were being surprisingly secretive about it.
Let me ask you a question, Megan.
Oh, okay, it's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
It's death, Pet. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of being human.
Sorry, are you saying that Advance have cured death?
That'll be a vote winner, yeah.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera,
Oh,
Pet?
sorry, it's camera 4 right there.
When I was 13, my mum came and got me from school. He was to go to the hospital. My granddad, he collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. He were all frail and pale. I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I live.
Oh, was that the last time you saw him?
Nope, 3 days later he were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that. He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge while we were watching football. He wouldn't even wait till half-time.
That sounds...
Oh, it was awful. were awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. He could see it was destroying me man, watching him slowly fade away, and he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't, or she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see, and she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
Transition centre. Legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important. This is a service
really bad.
only for people who choose it. For people who feel they've run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline into
Are you okay?
I don't know, I think it from my asshole.
Oh, we're still on the air, Peter.
Yes, sorry, my apologies. Oh.
Are you not worried that this new system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sorry, I've got sapped again. Can I get a little bit of help here, please?
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
Jesus, a Rochelle face fucker! That one was massive! Right, no, this bastard's coming off!
The older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable of holding that grandmother with a rutting twat bastard!
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
For God's sake!
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information
Oh, this is
tonight
so
to
bad.
tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan, we're only getting started.
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here. Jeremy.
Yes, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations
really
to all
bad.
the winners at the Sports Board final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
Good job, everybody.
That last shot.
I don't suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
It's for my nephew, so we transitioned the moment I saw the leak.
What happened? You got shocked to death. That was a really bad broadcast. The lockdown? I mean...
Alex, oh thank God you're alive. It's Jenny, the floor manager. Are you okay? Alex, you need to get it together. Look at the broadcast screen.
What happened?
Just look at it. That's all we've been putting out since you went down. You have to fix it, now. Look left, Alex, out the window. See?
What are those?
Bastards. You're going to need a full charge to clear that many off. Hold down the big button until it's fully charged. Then release it to zap the little fuckers. Excellent, Alex. We're broadcasting again. They must have built up while you were napping. Usually it only takes a tap on the button to clear one. Look, there's a lone one climbing now. Zap it off before it starts to mess up the signal again. Great. That seems to be the last of them. For now. Right.
Alright, before I continue this, I'm gonna end the episode here, guys. And it's a good stopping point. I should have stopped it earlier, but it's a good stopping point, and I'll continue this in the next episode. So subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.